Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So another maintenance has passed me. I have another update video for you guys today. But before we jump to that, if you're new here, as always, I'm Chrono, I'm looking for PSO2 content. Would much appreciate you subscribe. Working our way towards that 15k mark, and after crushing the 10k goal, I know we absolutely can. So either way, terrible intros aside, let's go ahead and jump into this. So if this is the first video you have watched from me, or the first of these videos, and you're asking yourself, why would I sit here and listen to someone else read me information I can go ahead and just get myself? You're absolutely right. Head over to ngs.pso2.com, scroll on down, and you will find all the important information listed right here, usually a little red dot next to it, or you can just scroll down in the video description and grab the links from there. All I ask is that you, I don't know, maybe toss a like on the video, helps out. Now, we do have a couple of things to review, so let's go ahead and start with the update details as we usually do. A new mini episode is released. It looks like we'll be having a conversation with Glenn as well as Crawford, them reminiscing about their friend that they lost during, I think it's a Nils situation on Stia, since we just took down Vile. Again, I don't understand why we're going about this whole process where we assume Vile is just gone. A lot of people also were kind of like, oh, well, we already killed Vile. I feel like a lot of people just forgot the whole Vile took over a body that Zepheto went through the entire process of trying to basically build up to be a 4th generation Arcs. Yeah, I don't know why we were forgetting that plot point, and that's not even being thought of in this situation, but everyone's acting like Vile's gone, and that never happened. So that should be interesting to see what they decide to do with that. Hopefully there's a bit more substance to this. I'm not assuming it's going to have much substance. This is kind of like a light version of the side stories we used to get back in base PSO2. So I'd like to see these be beefed out quite a bit more, though. These are likely being used as kind of like a extended amount of filler while they're working apparently on a newer story that's supposed to be coming around at the beginning of next year. So keep an eye out for that. We have the limited time event, the Super Fantasy Festival, celebrating the 13th anniversary of PSO2. This is a PSO2 base game. Of course, you're gonna see a lot of base game related stuff. We have 10-a-day super free AC scratches, so 100 free AC scratch. Pretty dope to see there. I'm not sure exactly everything's gonna be in it, but we'll take a look in just a moment. You can see what's going on, how long the campaigns are going on based on the bar that goes across. So you can see the end minute set of scratch. We have the super use of the Salon to Your Heart's Content campaign. You have the 10-a-day free scratch. We have the receive weekly Super Fantasy Festival gifts. So gotta love to see those. Hopefully, I'm not sure how many of these we get. We'll check in game when we finally get there. We also have And the Stars Fell D2. We have the new weapon that's coming about. So we're gonna have to do a video reviewing that. We have the drill, cool summer dash, and more. Of course, we have Massive Machine that's going to be popping up later on the 20th. So we'll review things that are on this left-hand side here, and we'll kind of ignore everything else for now. So we have the new LTQ, we have pre-announced urgent quests the entire time. We have the super reward box for Vile, with the Luther emote. Only that's Lutherisms. I'm not sure why it's not Lutherisms. Premium set gets extra 50% experience earned and rare drop rates. So getting those, basically those X cubes a lot easier, as well as showing off some of the other stuff. So, of course, the I said the Harriet. I'm mixed up in my Phantasy Star characters. It kills me. Luther and Shiva related stuff. We also have Central City being decorated for the anniversary. So that's pretty dope. We have our Sermo Rappies and the Sermo Emperor Rappy. Z Andy in her lovely outfit, and then of course showing off the outfits for Luther. And again, I wanted to say Harriet, but I know I'm not talking about it. Dude, it kills me here. Shiva it kills me. Anyway, we have the new limited time quest and the limited time urgent quest, I'm sorry, and the Stars Fell D2. I really wish they had gone about deciding to go with leaving the HP and the damage the same, and just removing the death limit for the 8-man version. I think it'd be kind of funny to see people get absolutely mollywopped by this boss. And I trust no one in putting together a house for me to hide in going into the next phase. We have the new LTQ cool summer dash. So glide over the seas on a floating board and take down the boss and the enemy in the final area in this 8-player quest. So it is an LTQ. Definitely get your practice in here, because the following week I believe is going to be a solo variant of this that will be a part of the Arcs record. So if you want to get your practice in, now is the time to do so. We also have the limited time trigger quest, drill ruin the Hunal. So we also have Hunal, the 4-player variant quest that we'll be able to do. So this is gonna be pretty interesting to see how this fight goes along with, and how it's going to be to fight Hunal solo as well. We also have the Waker update, so we'll be checking out the Waker update later on stream today, as well as the fighter and gunner balance changes. We talked about those in a previous video, so in case you missed that, just check on the channel. We have a video going over all of those. So yeah, they talk about the Marmello crest, showing that hopefully there's like a decent UI element for that, but unfortunately PSO2 has been a little bit lax on the UI element updates. They get to them eventually, but they do fall a little behind on getting those done kind of off the rip. And of course the balance adjustments with fighter arts pursued, chain trigger, so on and so forth. So I heard these are actually pretty substantial. Players are starting to get the number values, and the number values are pretty crazy. We do have the new Legendios, or the new Legend 2 land weapons. These essentially have what seems to be more like a gelin effect, where you do, or the enemy does less damage to you when you hit them with the debuff, which comes from attacking with this weapon. So that's kind of interesting. The new EX augments. So these EX augments are going to be evade onslaught, where you get a stacking buff that goes from 5% all the way to 8%. So it's going to get 1% potency up to 3% potency when you successfully negate an attack with a sidestep or weapon action. So that's 3 stacks of that. Really, really cool. I'm probably not going to use it because I'm terrible at maintaining never getting hit. But for those who do play in that sort of way, I feel like this is going to be a very, very powerful EX augment combination. And then we also have Pain Provoke 2, which is essentially you get 5.5% potency, and then you get an extra 1.5% potency for 20 seconds when you take 9% of your max HP and damage, after which you recover 10% of your max HP whenever the effect ends. This is going to create an interesting loop where if you use something like Maintain Balance, which forces your HP down to 49%, doing 10% of your HP per tick. It's going to activate this, and then once this ends, it's going to then shoot your HP up by 10%, which will put you outside of the Maintain Balance, and then it's going to pull your HP back down again. And it's a nice little balance to basically maintain this up 100% of the time. So that'll be really, really cool to see. We have the upgrade for the Volgan weapons. So this is going to be the new 13-star series that they've been working on. Again, we're going to go over these as well. I'm not 100% sure that these are going to be stronger than our Krez weapons, but fingers crossed they are still pretty decent. We also have the updates to just various quality of life feature stuff. The multi-weapon thing being added in, the auto sale for Legendios, or Legend 1 Legendios items. Looks like look at camera being added in, some more stuff for the Kavaris Lodge being added in, as well as things for, what is this? This is for look at interesting little things, stuff like the party. A lot of stuff we kind of went over yesterday in the patch notes, so you can kind of go through that if you'd like to. But these are just a lot of quality of life features being added in, things like giving you the ability to leave a quest if you die solo, so on and so forth. We also have new cards being added to Line Strike. The Idola cards, love to see this. This is super cool. You can actually see here an example of it here, but essentially based on where you drop the card on the field, you can either get the Law or Chaos variant of Stella, which is very, very akin to how, should I think of the word, but how Idola actually works. You can see they do have some different stats. I'm assuming they do different things as well. So if you were to put it in the top left or the middle right, you will get a Law version of Stella, versus the top middle or bottom left, you will get Chaos Stella. Or to be honest, if you did it in any other spots, you get regular Stella. So pretty cool things there. We also have a chance to get the Crawford card that's supposed to have been coming around much sooner, but you had a chance in early release for him here. So that's pretty cool. Make sure I haven't gone past what I wanted to. Yeah, no, this is all still available for the 6th. There's a lot of stuff coming around. Revival AC scratch tickets, Super Fantasy Revival, with things like weapon stealthing and the scratch count bonus. Do not be baited by this. You can get this for free, basically in base PSO2 if you want to take the time. And there is an event going on that you want to go do that anyway, so jump over there. We also have the Toho project collaboration with NGS. So we have the Toho characters. People are excited about this. It doesn't really sit much for me. I could care less, but I know people are very, very excited for this, and a lot of people are going to be dropping some money. So good luck to you guys and your polls. We got weapon camos, we have build parts, we have bullet patterns. Gotta love Toho. Gotta love the bullet hell life. And then of course, Bad Apple, I believe, is in the scratch count bonus. Yeah, I think it's in the scratch count bonus. So you can't actually pay for this outright outside of shelling out money. This was done on purpose. They knew you guys wanted it, so they put it in a place where you would have to give them money to get it. Great deals in the AC shop. Just taking a quick peek in here to see what's going on. Half price premium. So yeah, half price for the 90 days. That's actually not too bad. You get a legacy item badge with it, which is not really all that important, but it is what it is. Character storage expansions, don't really need this, to be honest. To give you 100 for free for your characters. I'm sorry, this is character storage, not inventory. Really don't need this very much. I think it's like 300 to start with for free for character storage, if I'm mistaken. And then of course there's also inventory, which is plus 10, which again, you start with 100 of that. You also don't need it, even though I have mine upgraded. You absolutely do not need that. It looks like they also have episode 6 boxes for a bunch of outfits. So in case any of these fit your fancy, these are just straight up outfits themselves. Outerwear, basewear, innerwear. Actually, I think I recognize the names on some of these. We'll check them out when we get in the game. It looks like even more of these, some more outfits. Nothing too crazy though. It looks like they've got some deals and some stuff. And I would say the best thing you can get from here is the half price premium if you are someone who does get premium. If you ever consider getting premium, just go ahead and get the premium. And if you're going to purchase AC, buy it directly from them in their shop, where you can get some pretty sick deals. Of course, we have the Toho Scratch collaboration, where there is, of course, a Type 1 variant of all of their outfits. I mean, that is just fair, so it is what it is. But there's Type 1 and Type 2 variants of all the outfits. Pretty dope to see that. And of course, the usual collaboration stuff. Again, nothing too crazy here. They do also include line strike cards, but the way that these usually work is these are just a copy of another type of line strike card that already exists. You're not getting something that anyone else can't get a hold of. You're just getting another variant of it or a different look of that card itself. Great way to do line strike cards, in my opinion, if you're going to do that sort of stuff. And then, of course, they show off again the Fantasy Festival. You have the article that's specifically dedicated to it, so you can see exactly what's going to go on. We kind of went over everything anyway, so I'll just do a quick thumb through here. Nothing too crazy off the top. Oh, we can see the actual rewards. You'll get the following items once per week, up to 4 times in total. So we get 3 prog relevances once a week, 4 times in total. So you get to what? Am I mathing? 12 to 12 prog relevances. That's not even enough for a fraction of a unit. They're being real stingy with these. Then of course the campaign for completing the campaign, or the campaign for completing the campaign. Not the best use of the words. And then you get a bunch of these tickets. So interesting. These are supposed to be for scratch tickets. So Beauty Fun ticket, Beauty ticket, Heroes ticket, Heroines ticket, the SGC ticket, and the Heroines ticket, and the Heroes ticket. The C variant of the SG, Heroines, and Heroes ticket. Oh, okay. So that's basically just the scratch that's always available with all of those outfits in the base game block. So cool, I guess. Basically, it's just free AC stuff. It's not as much as some people were thinking it was going to be, because they thought it was going to be for each block, but it looks like it's just going to be 1 per scratch. So, and then of course the boosts that are going on. I believe these are get all boosts and quests during this event. Boost stack with PSO2 day. So these are all the boosts that are going to be going on. You can kind of see when they're going to be going on and how much you're going to be getting. Quite a bit going on there. And they talk about the super reward box for Vile and the super treasure scratch as well. So you can kind of see when these are going to be going on. We have the entire list of all of the urgent quests. So in case you want to be available for when urgent quests go live, you can see them as they pop up. So that's super cool. And you don't really have to think about it. They're there for you. So cool. All right, let's go ahead and hop in game and take a look at everything. All right, here we are in game. Let's take a look around really quick. The Toho login stuff. The free AC scratch. Now this is just the one that we get for free. Actually something I already have. Place is bound to my character. Let's see. There's also the 10 times, which there we go. 10 a day free AC scratch. You can take a look and see what's in this, if there's anything too crazy. The red Almaty and the blue Almaty actually, oh, they're actually color varianted. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Oh, Space Jump is in here. Swordy is in here. There's a lot of, okay, there's a lot of emotes. There's some base PSO2 hairstyles. Oh, okay, hold on. There's some more camos. Camos we haven't seen in a very, very long time. Plasma Hands. Plasma Hands is actually really cool. This is a cap that a lot of people really did like, the MFDB cap, which is actually very expensive, or at least was very expensive back when I first got it. This is a pretty robust scratch. which is a good and a bad thing. That means it's kind of inflated with a lot of stuff in it. But as you guys can see, there's a lot in here, a lot of accessories specifically, which is really nice. So we'll go ahead and do our 10. See what we pick up. So we've got the hiking boots, we got shadow claws, backpack, scarf. Okay, so some decent stuff. A lot of these things, actually, funny enough, these are all sellable. Does not say a single one of these is not sellable. So if you're ever looking to pick up a bunch of base PSO2 accessories, now is your chance, it seems. This seems to be the one time they're going to have these available. So we can take a look at the end set of scratch. We can see there is no scratch count bonus. It does require a ticket, and I believe these tickets come from the treasure scratch is what I'm told. Also, we need to change up the fit. We're still wearing our outfit from summer, so hold on one second. There we go. Now we're presentable. All right, so we can take a look at our campaign rewards. So we've got quite a few things here. The repay campaign I immediately completed because of course I've done the story. We'll grab those in a little bit. We can see the weekly rewards. We got our prog relevances and all that good stuff there. So love to see those, as well as the what's going on in the AC shop. We'll grab this for free. Now, unfortunately, we can't see what's in these. We would have to actually have access to looking these up. So I'd recommend maybe checking out the Visiphone, checking out actually Bumped for exactly what some of these outfits and these items look like. So unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to see them here. You know that my alliance are taking care of all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's in the event shop this time around.
How are you?
They've been a little bit stingy with the event shop occasionally recently. For a while, it was just absolutely overpowered. It was insanely good. Let's see how well they do this time around. So that's the exchange recycle stuff. Okay, a bunch of items. We have Dark Mage Dash that's been added in. Dark Mage Glide, of course. Those are both really cool. So what is down here? We have Aegis Integra. Okay. You can purchase 40 prog relevances, it looks like. So that is 40. That's not bad. That means we definitely will be able to get another piece of our armor very soon. I don't like that this isn't at least 75. I would have liked to at least see this be 75, so that's guaranteed one of them. But it also depends on how much they're dropping from the current LTQ as well as the other stuff that we have to do. So it's not too bad. I would have liked to see more, but it is what it is. It looks like they also have more of our gold prims back again. You have 80 of those you can purchase. That's actually kind of wild. That's 80 this time around. 30 of the armors. It looks like 100 of the Endemios, along with 200 of the alpha reactors. So that's a good chunk of money. That's actually very nice. Let's see what else. Nothing else too crazy. I mean, it's pretty standard as far as the shop looks so far. Looks like we can get 10 of our scratch tickets. So 20 in total. We can take a look at the treasure shop, I believe, is where we're supposed to be able to see these. Now this is for SP, right? I'm sorry, SP. This is for SG specifically. We take a look at the Meseta treasure shop. Okay, so each ticket. Okay, it's only 5K per ticket. That's actually not bad at all. How many can you purchase in one sitting? You can buy up to 100 of them. So that's 500K. And does it reset? So let's go ahead and we're going to buy these 100 and we're going to check and see if it resets. So we'll go ahead and nuke the 500K. Look at the one reset. It does let us get another 100. So actually that's really good. If it's only 5K per pull and you can get 100 of them, like that's very reasonable. I didn't expect that to be as reasonable as it is. I almost expected it to be way too expensive. And it's affected by the refresh option. So I can buy these here and I can just hit I can refresh. I have premium, of course. I get one extra refresh. And yeah, there we go. We have another stack of 100 that we can purchase, and it's 100 per refresh. I'm not sure if this is intentional or not. I hope so. I hope they don't limit this, because this is actually really good if that's intentional. If it's not intentional, then like I sort of get it, because like you can buy a lot of those, and that scratch basically can just absolutely get demolished very quickly. But now we have 200 pulls of this scratch, and there's a lot of things that are in here that are pretty nice. I mean, granted, it's not anything too crazy. We've got a bunch of emotes in here. We have a bunch of accessories in here. I don't see any camos, which that's a little unfortunate. But yeah, I see a bunch of accessories, base PSO2 related stuff mostly. But this seems to be a way to introduce a lot of old accessories that haven't been around in quite some time. This almost feels like the Fun Scratch in a sense, but it's Meseta instead. Which the Fun Scratch, for those who didn't get a chance, all the featured items are actually base NGS items. Interesting. For those who didn't get a chance to play base PSO2, what that actually was another scratch you had where you were able to exchange a different piece of currency called Fun. You would earn that piece of currency through certain pieces of content, or you could trade X cubes for a good chunk of it, and you would then be able to pull on the Fun Scratch, which changed occasionally. It had some different things in it. Usually wasn't anything too crazy off the top, but it was a way for them to introduce another set of currency and materials, not materials, but I'm sorry, accessories for you. All right, cool. So let's take a look and see if we can
Do you need something?
check the LTQs. So it does look like both LTQs are available. If we take a look at the, oh, so we do need to have the triggers. Wait, do you get the triggers from running this? Because that would be very interesting. You do, you get triggers from running the regular one, and that allows you to run this. Can you not even see the reward pool if you don't have the triggers? That's kind of a pain. All right, well, so we'll do what we usually do. It looks like Krez also drops from this LTQ, kind of annoying that that's a thing, but it is what it is. See, they're going to double down on the whole concept of making it so you can get these from anywhere now that they actually are out of just the hardcore 4-man, but it is what it is. I'm not going to be too mad about that. We've already kind of gotten to that point where it's away from there to begin with, but I'm going to go ahead and run the new LTQ here really quick, and we'll take a look and see how many of those triggers actually drop. All right, so that wraps up the LTQ at the very least. I made sure to pop at least 100% RDR, as well as I have a oh yeah, I can just abandon quest to get the drops quicker, but I popped a 100% RDR as well as a Rabby Fritters. That way we have a decent amount of RDR going at the moment, so probably closer to the max reward you can get for stuff depending upon how the RNG works out. So let's take a look and see what we've got. It looks like we did get 5 triggers, which is nice. The Javel Volts, which is going to be the material you need to upgrade the weapon itself, so we'll have to see how many of those we're going to actually need. So that's pretty solid. We got 5 of those. Looks like that's enough to run a single run. I'm not sure if that's going to be consistent. If you guys have run yours in the comments, let me know how much you've gotten. We had 3 prog relevances for that. Kind of sucks because that took kind of long to get through, and it was more so the process of going through the entire thing. We did get a beta reactor. I'm not sure if that's because specifically we fought one of the giant rappies at the end. If you always fight one of the giant rappies at the end, or if it just ends and it could be one or the other in that situation. I didn't check to see if we got any points for that, so we're going to take a look at our points here in just a moment. We didn't get any Jovolds, so that's kind of crap, unfortunately. And then if we sell everything we have left, about 1K for the mistake that we made for just selling off all the extra runoff. If we take a look at the, actually we can just hit escape, about 77K points. That's not terribly bad. It took a good amount of time to get that completed, and the rewards were not the best, but we can take a look really quick at the weapon upgrade. For any of you guys who might be running the gem weapons as they're being referred to by the development team, to an equipment upgrade, we can go to equipment upgrade 2. You can see the new upgrade here, and it looks like it's going to take, oh yeah, they are definitely green, but you can't really see them. And it looks like it takes 150, and we got what, 5, I think, last run, 4. 150, that's gonna be quite a few of those runs. Now I am curious to see, now that we have enough triggers, if we can take a look at the drop table for the Green Hunal, so we can see the Leyland weapons only seem to come from this, which actually I do like that a lot. I'm not sure how good these weapons are going to be, but the fact they do come from, at the very least, requirement of fighting the new boss is pretty dope. Looks like prog relevances do drop. I don't see the other items, so I'm not sure how many of these are going to drop. I'll likely save my triggers to run with my chat today, but it looks like first clear rewards don't apply to this. Okay, so it does have a higher experience and rare drop rate, which is dope. Yeah, I mean, this is very akin to a similar style of questing we had back in base, where you had kind of like your regular, actually it's very similar to that of the previous Buster quest, where you had like your regular match and like your main matches, your free match and your main match. We had to do free match to get enough options to run the regular or the main match, or just running something to get triggers and then actually getting to run the actual trigger itself. So pretty dope all in all. Nothing too crazy there. Pretty sure we covered everything. If there's anything I missed, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more, and always thanks to the channel members. You guys are fantastic and I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, my friends. Peace out.